Teacher versus Secretary, Workload Mismanagement. Research presentation on education reform in Phichit and Suphanburi Province, Thailand. Problem statement, Thai education system. Objective recognition, teacher-secretary mismanagement. Abstract. The study focuses on primary schools in the Thai education system after the 1992 educational reform. The special emphasis is on curriculum, teaching-learning process, the educational management. It compares the primary schools in the Phichit and Suphanburi provinces. Towards the end, the attitudes and opinions of secretaries, administrators, teachers, parents, and students in the two provinces are examined in detail. As per the post-1992 curriculum, the teachers have to train the pupils to carry out skill-based activities and have used new methods and techniques in teaching the learning process. The pupils have become the center of schooling process and have become motivated to express their ideas about what they would like to study. The teachers supervise and advise them in these matters. The students have more skill-based activities in school and have become proficient in basic skills. Regarding educational management in school, the principal and the vice principal have been empowered to make decisions on providing education according to the pupils' needs and requirements. They could manage their school activities, work plans, budget, academic matters, and so on. The educational reforms of 1992 made certain parts of the curriculum, including the general subjects, compulsory for all schools in the country. With regard to the optional subjects, it was realized that each province and each district have different needs, and therefore a number of optional subjects were introduced, which were predominantly skill-based. The School Education Committee, consisting of school teachers, school administrators, parents, and community leaders, to design the optional subjects which suited for the areas. This benefited the students as the teaching process became more child-centered rather than teacher-centered. While many of the reforms have been successfully implemented, others have met with a limited degree of success, and some are still in need of practical application. The study examines the relationship between teacher and secretaries and the problems they both have. On the one hand, teachers try to undertake secretarial work. There is a certain degree of mistrust that secretarial work takes too long to process. By undertaking this work, teachers are overloading their own duties and effectiveness, causing mistrust and a lack of morale between the two professions. On the other hand, secretaries in some instances have to undertake the duties of up to 4 schools, traveling either by public transport or by their own means, which takes up much of their time. The education system does not provide traveling expenses for the secretaries, which in turn creates a lack of morale and high turnover in secretarial staff. Also, on many occasions, when schools are short-staffed with teacher absentees, secretaries are required to teach in class. Because they have no training, morale is affected. Consequently, there is a lack of respect and understanding between the two professions, with schools failing to delegate in each of their duties. Motivation. The guidance and support of leaders, including policymakers, planners, and administrators in the education system, and their effective interaction and collaboration with the teachers and secretaries, as well as the commitment of schools and their principals, are crucial factors for the success of the educational process. The planners and administrators need to have a crystal clear view on the teaching-learning process. Apart from that of the secretarial duties in the schools, encouraging the sharing of knowledge and to delegate workload separately between the two professions, thus creating a smoother, happier, more efficient working environment. Approach. Meetings and seminars regarding work procedures were held in the Phichit province with school principals, governors, planners and administrators, teachers and secretaries also in attendance. Questionnaires with the following information were distributed and analyzed. Here are 3 example questions. Number of schools you are responsible for. How do you manage your working time in each school? How satisfied are you with your working duties? Results. Translation Thai to English. This survey shows that most of the secretaries, 64%, replied that they feel neutral about their duties. 25% of the secretaries replied that they are satisfied with their duties, and 11% of the secretaries replied that they are dissatisfied with their duties. This survey shows that 82% of the secretaries have duties in more than one school. 42% of the secretaries are in 3 or more schools, 40% of the secretaries are in 2 schools, and 18% of secretaries are only in 1 school. This survey shows that 75% of secretaries travel to school by motorcycle, 19% of the secretaries travel to school by car, and 6% of the secretaries travel to school along with their friend. This survey shows that 43% of secretaries are required to teach in class. 57% of secretaries are not required to teach in class. This survey shows most of the students thought that school meetings were necessary. The teachers were under the impression that discussions between the principal and the teachers help both parties to work in a mutually bilateral way. The members were under the impression that staff meetings helped in improving communication. This survey shows the Phichit province that in the Phichit province, 35% of teachers are trained in general subjects, 17% have been trained in character development in English language, and 14.3% have been trained in life experiences and work-oriented education, while 33.7% are self-taught. This survey shows that 75% of teachers are dissatisfied when required to teach outside of their trained subjects and undertake administrative work. Conclusions? The teachers and administrators think that the 1992 education reform and the new curriculum have not produced the desired result to the full extent. They express the views that the post-1992 curriculum is definitely better than the previous programs, and those students and teachers enjoy the new process of teaching, learning, vocational schools, and practice learning lessons. The new system provides more freedom for the learners to choose from various subjects offered, and the schooling and teaching process is more practical. One of the loopholes pointed out by the administrators as well as the teachers is that in the 1992 education reform, it has too much emphasis given on practical aspects of the curriculum, neglecting other subjects like Thai language and arithmetic. Most of them suggested that it would be better to evolve a new education system in which both the new and old curriculum could be combined together. This would open up new areas of inquiry, study of educational system, and reforms in Thailand. Lack of teaching experience on the part of rural school teachers is a matter of concern. Their joining the urban school after a few years of teaching may be seen as an attempt to gain upward mobility. The rural-urban disparity is noticeable here. Informal discussion revealed that another issue of concern for the teachers is their inadequate remuneration, which compels them to take up part-time jobs. This adversely affects their teaching work in the school as their time and energy get diverted elsewhere. The objectives of the post-1992 reforms get diluted to this factor. Again, although the time allotment for various subjects have not substantially changed, due to the lack of experience, some teachers may not be able to gauge basic skills in each subject and allot time accordingly. Moreover, the training provided to teachers to implement the revised curriculum may not be adequate. Suggestion. Many of the above problems can be allied by an increase in the Thai educational budgets for traveling expenses and a 1-to-1 ratio of secretaries in schools. Thank you so much for your attention.
สวัสดีค่ะ